This is episode 5 of my 6 days of link building. I didn't plan on doing 6 days of link building, but I started sharing these link building stories that I've been finding on the search engine optimization subreddit. They've been doing pretty well. I've been enjoying sharing them. And then I counted, and there was 6. And I started 4 days ago. This is going to be 5. Tomorrow will be the last one. Then I'll probably go back to your regularly scheduled programming, which will probably be something about TikTok or Instagram. Maybe another SEO thing. I don't know. But, OpenAI, it's doing 12 days of OpenAI announcements. I'm doing 6 days of link building. That's what I got for you. This one actually is something that I really don't think about a lot, and it only applies to going after the most competitive keywords. The reason I don't think about this a lot is because I like to stack the odds in my favor, and I look for keywords that are overlooked. There are so many keywords that are very high converting and super easy to rank for just because the volume isn't very high, but they convert so well, or they represent purchases from thousands of customers, or they represent getting backlinks, or they represent something else that might give you clout and then you can leverage that. These are called high leverage keywords, and I have an episode about that, episode 420 of the show. But I go after keywords that are overlooked. So I don't typically go after the most competitive keywords, but this is if you are. And it's a pretty interesting insight, actually. So if you want to go after the most competitive keywords, you need some good links. You need some good backlinks. But actually, the timing of your link building matters for going after these competitive keywords. And this is the story. This is what this story is about. It's called keyword timing. The link for this story will be in the description for this episode, but this is what it says. You might not always be at number 1, but make sure when you are, it's at the right time. In this day and age, the SERPs, the search engine results pages, fluctuate constantly, especially when you're in the top 3. It's harder to stay at number 1 consistently, although it does still happen. Instead, you'll float between 1, 2, and 3. Again, this is only for the most competitive keywords. If you're targeting an overlooked keyword, it will typically stay overlooked for a long time, and you might rank number 1 for it for years. It's really crazy. These are usually bottom of funnel keywords too, so they're high converting. This is what my product, Compact Keywords, is about, compactkeywords.com. They're high converting. The pages are short because they're so uncompetitive, and they're bottom of the funnel. People just want their answers fast. They want their solutions fast. And you make one of these pages and it ranks, and then it'll stay ranking for literally years. I still have plenty of bottom of funnel pages ranking number 1 after 4 or 5 years, which is when I learned about this strategy. Like when I started putting up these pages 4 or 5 years later, they're still ranking 1. That's crazy. But if you're going after the most competitive keywords, that's not going to be the case. Instead, you'll float between 1, 2, and 3, positions 1, 2, and 3 on Google. Due to this, it might be inopportune to pull the trigger on link building strategies that might place you at number 1 at the wrong time of the year. Because the reality is that you might only stay there for a month or 2, and constantly pulling the trigger on this certain strategy you're doing won't work. Some businesses work all year around, so it doesn't matter, but some are certainly seasonal. Think Christmas decorations, anything with an element of seasonality. I had a client that wanted to hit their heights ASAP in September, but they sell a winter-related auto product that people are far more likely to purchase in the coldest months, like January and February. Instead, we pulled the trigger later on in the year, leading to the relevant keywords boosting where they historically got their most sales, which is February. Imagine if we had done this so the keywords ranked well for September. They wouldn't have made the client nearly as much money. Remember, it is possible to nail number 1 and stay there for months on end, but for some of the extremely difficult and competitive keywords, you can expect some fluctuation. In which case, it's best to time things as best as you can to gain that impetus when it's going to be the most powerful. On the other hand, you can expect your competitors to do this too. To counter this, you can dial down the link building to a slow amount over a long period, slowly but surely creating a great backlink profile, but then ratcheting it up a few months before your target period. So here's the explanation if you don't follow. You have a seasonal business. I think right now it's a good example. It's wintertime. And what if you want to go after very competitive keywords? But like your business, your keywords are seasonal. If they're competitive, they're going to fluctuate. Do you want to rank for them in the off season, or do you want to rank for them in the on season? You want to rank for them in the on season. You only have a certain amount of assets to throw at ranking these keywords for getting links. So you don't want to do that too soon. You don't want to use up your assets too soon. You want to use them when it will be most impactful. Maybe you're doing it in a month or two in advance, and you're getting tons of links very soon up to your seasonal period, to the high season. Relevant links too that make it look like this page is in demand, this page is highly talked about. So that's what you do. But now let's make it even a bit more complex. What if your competitors are going to do this as well? Well, then you have a slow trickle of links going to this page throughout the year. Then a few months before your target period, you scale up the link building. So that's when timing your link building efforts actually matters. You're going after highly competitive keywords. These keywords are seasonal, so you actually need to time things. And believe it or not, a lot of businesses, even seasonal businesses, don't think like this. They don't know this stuff. I think it's a pretty cool nuance. It's a good distinction, and it's not one that many people notice. Now, the alternative is just rank for tons of overlooked bottom of funnel keywords, which I talked about. That's a lot easier. But if you want to go after the super competitive keywords, ones that are still bottom of funnel, but they get tens of thousands of searches a month, and they're targeted a ton by your competitors, and like I said, they convert really well, you're going to have to be more strategic. That's when there's going to be more fluctuations. And even if it's not seasonal, you still have to be more strategic because these keywords are so competitive. It's actually gotten riskier too. If the keywords are really competitive, like super competitive, it means that people across websites will be talking about the subject matter and sometimes even just naturally using the keywords. So it's very possible that a site like Reddit or Quora might be ranking #1 for this keyword. And right now, Google loves prioritizing user-generated content. So you could have a great page on your site and you could do this strategic link building, but the keyword might be so competitive that it might just be on Reddit anyway, and it's going to be hard to outrank Reddit. So then what you got to think about is either parasite search engine optimization, in which case you're using Reddit to rank for your keywords, something that a lot of people are doing. I have so many episodes about that. You can literally search The Edward Show, Parasite SEO. Actually, I've just made an episode about that. Episode 519 of the show called 5-Dimensional Reddit Parasite SEO. Or you could be using user-generated content to go after these keywords. You could be making YouTube videos about these keywords. Really simple to produce YouTube videos using a tool like Descript, which I talked about, which just uses AI to remove all the gaps between words, removes bad takes, makes your eye contact go to the camera. If you're not looking, if you're reading from a script, you can put in images and sync those images to your cuts, which are made, and the cuts are made automatically with AI. You can turn out videos really fast and then use these videos across all social media, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, to target these keywords. The videos has the keyword at the beginning of the title and the description. And I have a whole guide on how to post these videos, edwardstrom.com/articles/social media posting strategy. Sometimes I actually do that with more competitive keywords. I don't go after them on my site. I make a YouTube video about them. Actually, the video comes out everywhere. And usually it's YouTube that ranks, but sometimes it's Instagram Reels that ranks. Sometimes it's TikTok that ranks. And I make a video about this keyword, and then I put the keyword at the beginning of the title, if the platform has a title field, like YouTube, for example. And then I put the keyword at the beginning of the description. And that piece of user-generated content, my video, will rank. It's really amazing. So anyway, thinking about seasonal keywords, competitive seasonal keywords that fluctuate a lot, and when to time your link building practices, I think it's a cool concept. That's what I wanted to share with you on this episode of the show. This is 6 days of link building, and this was day 5. Tomorrow will be day 6. This is episode 525 of my daily digital marketing show. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.